Yo, my name is Vosk. You're on the VoskCoin YouTube channel. Today I want to run with you some of the hurdles, or really all of the hurdles I can think of when it's come to my mining farm build out. I am chasing passive income dreams, financial income dreams, whatever clickbait title you want to put, or they're TikToking on the internet these days. And just all the hurdles, some expected and some very unexpected when it's come to basically just trying to build out my own personal mining farm with the end game of, trying to retire off of this. And that's an endeavor. It's been an endeavor. Hurdle numero uno. Where do you even do this stuff? So one of the first hurdles was, where do I do this? I have a unique goal with this of, basically being in the sticks, not being in an urban area, staying in my home state here in Virginia, and then also just having the room for expansion, and of course a nice open sunny area where I can one day hopefully achieve my end game of deploying a bunch of solar panels and being my own electric company, cutting out the most expensive middleman I have, which is, well, the electric company. So obviously that's a huge hurdle. I don't want to go on and on, but I had to find a lot that I could afford that checked as many boxes as, well, I could afford, and then figure out some of the future hurdles like electricity, internet, and of course the infrastructure to deploy this gear out here. Not just that, but also say like a building that has airflow to put these mining rigs in. Hurdle number dos. That's 2 in Spanish. Pay attention. Did you skip class again? Okay, that's going to be really just investing in the infrastructure out here. I'm going to break down these into a couple more specific categories, but one thing that incredibly caught me off guard, I massively underestimated, is the fact that I've spent several Bitcoin in road building and gravel out here. Rocks add up, especially in this day and climate. I've got 21A crushed run rock, I got gravel 57, and you need to be able to access this full-time yourself, yes, but if you deal with any contractors and you're not literally DIYing everything, right? I need the electricians to be able to come out here and access. It needs to not only be serviceable on a dry day. I need 24/7, rainy day, whatever access, which means they're gonna need a road. Okay, when I brought the plug and play mining pod in, we needed a solid road to bring an 18-wheeler in here. We also needed a forklift, and we need all this other equipment that you don't realize in the beginning, and you need the infrastructure to be able to get here. So again, I'm a mile off the road, right? The actual surface area adds up, and of course there's associated labor and all that stuff, and that has ended up as a huge hole in my pocket and has massively decreased my ROI, or the return on investment, in this mining farm build endeavor for me. But these are things I understood. I could have put things closer. I could have managed this problem better. But what I wanted to be, or really, I had very specific locations. I wanted everything, and I knew that was going to command a premium to build out everything to get there, because I'm dealing with basically nothing on this property. It's cool to have a raw lot, but it also sucks because you're going to build everything. There's no existing road. There's no just anything, which means you're going to have to build it. You're going to have to buy it. And especially with roads and gravel roads, I mean, you have the initial cost, but a lot of times if your dirt's not good enough underneath, or I don't want to go on and on about it, but you may have to come back and top coat the gravel just a year later, which we've had to do here in some spots, and it's a pain and it adds up. But the more I kind of get this situated, developed, manicured, upkept, it's only going to get easier moving forward. Maybe if we hit a crazy bull run, I'll come out here and pave all this stuff, but I surely cannot afford to pave a mile-long road right now. Maybe that'll be my retirement gift or something. Little asphalt, little blacktop, smooth but a ride. Problem number 3, where do I even put all this stuff? I needed a building, or I needed to drop something. Like, you acquire so much stuff when you're mining. I have a couple personal items in here, but I really have just a ton of miner boxes in the corner over there, little miner boxes in the corner over there, and then of course more miner boxes right here, and walking by some hard drive miners there. I've really tried to get most of my miners out of this building though, I call this the field building or VoskCoin HQ. I've got big lofty goals for this, but at some point you realize just, wow, how expensive this is, and the fact that the market's been kind of tough, where I'm just not generating enough to justify and be able to just invest, another $100,000 into this building. You want HVAC, you want to seal up the walls, you want all this nice stuff. Well, it gets expensive quick, but I just did a little twirly spin, and bloop, back there you can see more mining rig boxes, and then on the other side there's even more. So what you really deal with, the more you do, the more stuff that you're generating. For example, more stuff over there. And ultimately, you need to keep all of these mining rig boxes. In my opinion, why though? Well, because if you ever want to sell them, here's your shipping box. These things come with foam. It's easy to just drop them in there. They come with anti-static bags, and they're not only the easiest way to ship mining rigs, but they're also the safest way. So many times I've seen people, and I've been the victim of this myself, of just not properly packing a miner because it's such a dense thing. And then it shifts around and it starts to break on its way to its destination. With this building, I want to do more than just store miner boxes, but it was definitely a hurdle, and I know some people are going to flame me for this, I've invested more into this building than I have the mining farm so far. But it's getting close, and this thing's expensive. Hurdle number 4. Once you get this stuff, how do you run it? You need electricity. And depending on your situation, you may already have electricity. I didn't. I'm about a mile off the road. So no, they weren't too eager to run your boy electricity. I had to fill out all kinds of load letters and basically justify that I'm worth the investment. Going back and forth with them to get 3-phase out here, which would be better for the mining side of the operation. But that's a big build out for them. Much more costly, and I need to basically be pulling enough juice to where they would justify in paying for it, because I can't just sink my money into buying their infrastructure for them and then they just bill me in perpetuity. But this hurdle is often underestimated, and if nothing else, just very time consuming. Then you got the juice, but what about the sauce? Oh yeah, you're going to need an internet service. That's been a huge ordeal out here in the sticks. Thankfully, I've got multiple internet companies around here, and even more thankfully, Verizon just recently came through and has allowed me to run a hardwired service. So that is now officially in, which has been a huge relief, and it cuts my cost in half, and it increases my uptime, it increases my download and upload speeds, which is obviously great for the mining farm, because if you drop shares, basically when you're mining you create shares, and if you drop those, you're not going to get paid. The mining pool rejects your shares, and basically you just lose money. It lowers your mining profitability. And if you look way back there, or bloop, we'll zoom in with some on-site footage or up-close footage of the Starlink. That's Elon Musk's satellite internet, Starlink, and I'm thankful to have the Starlink option. However, they've jacked the price on me 3 times. I can have 2 Verizon services for less than the price of 1 Starlink service, and I've been disappointed overall with the performance, but thankful that it is an option, and surely it's better than nothing, and surely it's most likely better. I haven't specifically tested it here, like those little 5G boxes of internet that Verizon and other companies are trying to push. But the fact of the matter is, hurdle number 5, the sauce internet, is very difficult, and it's absolutely critical. It's part of the lifeblood with building a mining farm and just this passive income endeavor. And you start to realize it ain't all that passive when you try to scale up a little bit. Hurdle number 5, I got the location. I built out the roads. I got the juice. I got the sauce. And I even got a place to store all this stuff. I've been generating a bunch of just boxes and everything else. But shouldn't this have been an earlier hurdle? It kind of was. Definitely the first thing I thought about. I need somewhere to mine, right? I need somewhere to mine. So that's the digital shovel. It's been cool working with them. It's a plug and play mining container. Okay, you pull it off the 18-wheeler, and they got some other models, and they're working on some other, even cooler, more DIY friendly models, which I'm really stoked about. This is actually a beta pod from them. It's the first single phase applicable pod. All their other stuff was built out for 3-phase. But, you know, so I get this device, I got the service right here, we wire up, and that's it. I mean, the fans are in, came with filters, it's got racks that they mold in-house. I mean, it's plug and play. So after that, I just had to get internet in there. So what I did is I've got my Starlink deployment right here, and I went ahead and routed that underground into the pod, and then from there I've got, you know, hardwired internet, and I just punch it in to the switch that it comes with. It actually comes with 2 network switches in there. So that way I've got hardwired internet from the source, and yeah, like I could just use a Wi-Fi bridge, repeater, mesh network and stuff over here. The locations are very close. But with something so serious, it's not time to take the easy way out with the internet deployment. I like all my stuff hardwired, and not just direct burial. I'm putting in PVC pipes, which, you know, the labor adds up, the cost adds up, but I mean, do it once, do it right. I'm trying to build this to last, absolutely. So behind me is the latest version kind of my mining shed. I used to have a mining shed in the beginning of this crazy crypto journey, and so this was my original plan to deploy my miners, but I basically got held up in all the other hurdles I told you about, and eventually I was able to get the pod in time right when my electricity pretty much went online here. For example, electricity held me up so much, it added half a year to me actually energizing the mining farm, which is crazy, absolutely crazy. But right now I'm unsure the direction I want to go with this. I may be turning it into an immersion mining shed, but right now I'm just kind of focused on getting everything situated, which brings me to my next hurdle. That's going to be hurdle number 5. Nope, number 6. Hurdle number 6. And if that's wrong, we're just going to say hurdle number 7. Okay, hurdle number 6 may be just remembering how many hurdles you had. You're gonna need somebody to do all this stuff. Unfortunately for me, that's gonna be me. I gotta unbox these things. I gotta set them up. I need cables, right? We got C13 times 2 to C20 cables in there, which is common for the Antminer deployments, this generation of ASIC mining rigs. I'm mainly ASIC mining right now with the hard drive focus. I'm thinking about dropping a dedicated shed for hard drive mining over here, where I'm going to use a mini split to cool it. Again, bringing it back to the infrastructure hurdles, but again, I want to build this stuff once, build it right. Worst case scenario, I don't know, I'll take the shit out and I'm gonna make that a tiny home, and I'm gonna rent it out on Airbnb, and I swear to God I'll break even before I die. I hope so. And then some, really, obviously. But you know, to be serious, right? I gotta have somebody to do this stuff. Right now it's me. I want to train Alexa on being more involved with this stuff. Depending on how crazy this stuff gets, I may bring in somebody to work part-time, full-time here to just help me deploy rigs, service rigs. They need maintenance, they need cleaning long-term. We got to replace the filters, right? Hopefully a bunch of solar panels one day. They're going to need some periodic cleaning to have, you know, the highest level of production. All this stuff just really continues to kind of grow and add up, which, let's talk about hurdle number 8. Hurdle number 8, maybe this should have just been a earlier hurdle. That's just going to be the financing. How are you going to do this, right? I'm homegrown, no investor, no backing. I'm going to run with what I got. I'm going to keep reinvesting. It's been that way since day one. I did max out all my credit and credit cards, and basically, you know, if I could get any money, I was getting it about 6 years ago now. And buying as much coin and as many mining rigs as I could back then. I was actually building out GPU mining rigs as fast as I could. Man, that was a crazy time. What a fun exposition. What a time. But that's a very obvious hurdle. And the final hurdle is going to be me talking too long. So that's really the gist of it all. My name is Vosk. You're on the VoskCoin YouTube channel, home of the CHO, the Chief Hurdle Officer, Tails Vosk. I hope you subscribe. I hope you like the videos. If you don't, well, dang it, stick around. We're chasing 1 mil.